We're going through Act 6 changes. It's true, you know. Or at least it will happen at some stage. You remember this content? There's low battery. Oh, yeah, story of my life. And anyway, this is and has been a bugbear for a lot of players wherever I did it once. I'm never doing it again. Just like my parents, who were no longer together. Wow, that's a bit of a... well, I actually did it twice because I have a sister. Anyway, where's this starting going? I don't know. It's the weekend. It's relaxed atmospheres. So Act 6 hasn't been the best thing for players. A lot of new players come into the game, get to Act 6 and go, oh, right, this boss, difficult, and then they stop playing. Or they kind of go, can I avoid this? And a lot of people do try to avoid it as much as possible and kind of go somewhere else in the game, but maybe they've done the Grandmaster once and go, that's enough. If you go and do Necropolis, you've got to do it several more times, and it's not exactly pleasant the more you do it. Unless you've got certain champions, like since the rise of inverted controls and immune champions, it's actually been a little bit more palatable. But it doesn't mean that it's perfect. However, changes are coming. If you saw in the live stream the other day, Kabam said this, or they showcased this. In progress now. Updates are actively in development for that. What does that mean? Will it be a nerf to Grandmaster? Will it not? Well, we don't know just yet. I mean, we can surmise a few things. It's still a few months away, so you could see this by the end of the year. More details to come soon. Updates to rewards and the content itself, which content itself means is probably going to be Mr. Grandmaster. I've always been very, not frustrated or annoyed, but kind of concerned. There's definitely two different types of people looking at this. There's the ones that go, I don't really care, but I see new players being frustrated with this pain point and they'll stop playing as a result. And players do stop playing as a result. You know, certain players get to this period and go, it's getting more complicated, complex, frustrating, annoying, and they give up. But then there's the other side of things where there'll be a side of the community that will look at this and go, this shouldn't change because of the hard work that I had to do to go through it. Other players should suffer the same. But unfortunately, it then brings on a bad culture of, well, people could spend their way through this kind of like content. There's so many different things that you need to consider when going, oh, this is a good thing or a bad thing. It's a thing. Right, it's a changing time in video games, and especially a grindy game like MCOC. It's not, you don't get the instant gratification of just like getting something done like there in a fighting game and then boom, fight, boom, end, boom, reward. It's like there's a longer game with MCOC. There's a steep learning curve. In fact, I'm going to bring up what AI. Whether or not you like AI or not, it's always funny when you put it into Google and just like say, well, what? I think I put in new player to MCC and quit, and the AI review is: it's understandable for new players to feel overwhelmed or lose interest in Marvel Contest of Champions quickly. The game has a steep learning curve, and the monetization strategies can be frustrating, leading some players to quit shortly after starting. God, it's annoying. Like I don't like. I worry about AI to the point of Skynet, right? I grew up with kind of like thinking, oh my word, if Skynet could be a thing, we are in deep doo-doo. It was like the AI that an AI infiltrated something, it hacked its way into something, and then when questioned, the AI denied it. You know, this is where it's like, it's always been my concern of like how sentient AI could actually get at one given stage and how you're able to control something that is technically going to become AI sentient is like, it doesn't even bear thinking about. But there are some funny things and fun things when it comes to it. You know, Grok's pretty funny on Twitter. But then when it comes to like art creation, I kind of I draw a bit the line. I've definitely seen a few MCC content creators using AI and stuff. Like I just use Kabam's based stuff that I then kind of like cut out in Photoshop and kind of repurpose in different areas and kind of like scan stuff to then repurpose in different bits. and then bring in like a what is it, like a text or whatever. Maybe it's the future, but I don't know. It's tough for like people who do a lot of hard work, like Cat Murdoch, the amazing people that create infographics. But anyway, that's another story for another day. Onwards or back to like some stuff. It was very interesting as well. I know some people within the community have been quite vocal about Act 6 rewards being kind of like tuned and buff, but it means nothing. If you've already done Act 6, Kabam aren't going to give you out any of the extra things that you got. Like they're not going to go, oh, you know, here's this, well done. But it may be a good thing for me to go, hey, Rich, go back and do Act 600%, because you might get some spicy rewards. That might be something you should do now. Like, I'm not super spicy, but like, imagine that. Like, I'm going back into Act 6. What have I not done? I haven't done 6.2 because there's no point at the moment because of the rewards to what I get. So, yeah. Maybe I will. Maybe I should like say to you guys right now, go back to Act 6 and go and do the content, because it might be like, well, go do it because you might get some rewards as a result when if you've 100%ed it within a allotted time within the next X months. But I would say wait 2 months and then do it, because Kabam may not give out any compensation for that one at all. And let's face it, at the moment, you're not really interested in what? Very little 6-star materials. I mean, there's 2 rank up gems. There's 6-star nexus, but apart from that, like, what's the point? There's no point. But it was definitely funny. I never read like a few months, like this is a couple months ago. Yeah, a couple months ago. Well, now it's a few months ago, where some players were asking about when the Act 6 rewards would change or like difficulty would change, and there's is it the same? No, it's a different player. Like asking about like when are they going to change, and the amount of people that went, they're not going to change, and like people always just being quite rude to them. But like, well, it's going to change. You know, Kabam have said it's going to change for the positive. So yeah, it's in development. I mean, it's good news. It's as I said, bittersweet, really. The amount of like work, effort, rigmarole, stress that went into doing Act 6 for the very first time. But then if my pain points are have been shared by, I don't know, several hundreds of thousands of players that then as a result stopped at this Act 6 point to play the game any further and decided to quit the game, and we've lost new players in the community. If we keep losing new players into the community, then we lose the small percentage. Fun fact, a few years ago, it was confirmed by Kabam that 3% of the community are spender versus 97% of people being spenders. And if the 3% are spenders, you know, are mixed up with a few minnows and a few kind of like little dolphins when it comes to spending, and it's a lot of lost revenue that Kabam have had to see as a result of not making Act 6 more palatable from a not progression standpoint, but a ease of access, ease of play, complexity reduction standpoint, which, let's face it, this is incredibly complex understanding of what is a fighting game, and it's definitely not like what you'd expect from Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, Virtual Fighter, etc. Anyway, what are your thoughts around Act 6 changing? I could definitely see the good and the bad, but at the end of the day, the fact is, if players are stopping playing this game at Act 6 as a point, then, well, there you go. Like, that's all the answers that Kabam need. They lose veteran players because of things that they do, right? Whether good or bad, they just go, oh, I'm annoyed with this, I'm quitting the game. That's a veteran player. But then new players are getting too frustrated with access early on and then decide they're going to quit the game because they can't get the learning curve, and therefore your old's going and replacements going, so you're not making any new players come to the game because you're peeing them off early on and late on in the game. So it's always a balancing act from Kabam on this one. Anyway, check out some other content located on screen, updates from the weekend, and I'll see you all in some other content. Bye.